Hey everybody, this is Stelly After with Closeout, and in today's video I'm going to teach you the mind reading technique that's going to increase and improve your cold email outreach numbers. So here's the deal. I'm getting these emails quite a lot, and just recently I had an email from somebody in a very crowded space, very competitive space, that said, you know what, Stelly, we're sending out all these cold emails, and a lot of times people respond with the objection to us, thanks but no thanks, we already have a solution that we're happy with in this area, cheers. What do I do when lots and lots of people, most of the people I try to get in touch with, are telling me that they already have a vendor in place, they already have a solution in place? Here's what I told them to do, and this is as a framework something that you can use in cold emails, you can use this in your website copy and landing pages, you can use this in presentations in front of crowds or on the phone when pitching to prospects. When you know that there's an objection that's top of mind with your prospects, when you know that there's an objection, something they're thinking that hinders them from looking further into your solution and want to know more about your company, your offering, when you know that there's something they're thinking immediately when you're trying to pitch them, you have to embrace that reality and make it part of your pitch. This is a way that you can mind read what people think. One of the beautiful things about your position, about pitching the same type of prospect again and again and again and again, is that you learn how these types of people think, especially if you're really focused with your target audience and you create real segmentation and you don't pitch to a too broad of an audience. I've talked about this before. When you really know who your ideal customer is and when you pitch to a very similar type of prospect, talking to them, listening to them, seeing what their objections are, seeing what they respond to or what they don't respond to, observing what kind of language they use, what kind of thought process they have, enables you to become a mind reader. You should be able to anticipate what they think in certain areas. And that knowledge, that possible anticipation is worth a lot of fucking money. So here's what I told that founder to do when it comes to their cold email outreach. And this principle applies to anything that you might want to do with your prospect. So if I email all kinds of people and they always tell me, if they email a certain type of prospect and they always tell me, Stelly, we already have a solution we're happy with, then I'd adjust my cold email. I would adjust my pitch to lead with that information. I would send an email that says, hey Stelly, what we do in a sentence is we offer XYZ services. You probably already have a vendor that you're happy with. Or let me take a guess. You have a vendor and you're happy with that vendor, with that solution. Here's why I've decided to email you despite knowing that you already have something you are happy with. That's the lead-in. Now, I don't know if you can sell that prospect or not. I don't know if you can convince somebody to switch vendors from their current good solution to your hopefully better solution. That I don't know, and I can't guarantee. But what I guarantee you is that if you lead that way, with that kind of mind reading technique, where you, between the lines, you're telling them, I know your situation, and I know what you're thinking, and here's why I emailed you anyways. When you start that way, when you lead that way in your cold email, I guarantee you they're going to keep reading. They're going to go, this person knows that I already have a vendor, assumes I'm already happy, and decided to email me anyways. Well, let me read on and see why. What made this person so confident that although he or she knew I already have a vendor and I'm happy, I'm not interested in this, although they knew all that, they emailed me anyways. They're going to keep on reading. Hey, I know that you probably have a vendor you're happy with. Here's why I've decided to email you anyways. Now, you have to come up with a really good pitch. And this is a business challenge. You should know why you are emailing people that already have a vendor. What makes you better than that vendor? What makes you unique or different? Why are you still a valuable solution to people that already have something that's working? That's a pitch you need to come up with. But if you infuse a little bit of mind reading in your email, if you address something they're thinking at the moment they're thinking it, it will make for a very powerful moment. You will feel, magically confident. You will feel like you know them, and that will make them read on. And that's all you can ask for at that early beginning, at the intro of your email. Hey, I know you already have a vendor in place. You're probably happy with them. Here's why I still emailed you. Now a possible pitch could be, we've worked with over 1,000 companies like yours in your industry that had already a vendor in place, and after they saw that we can do XYZ for them, they chose to switch and realized that switching was worth it because we created this amount of value to them. We solved this type of problem for them. Seeing this pattern over and over again made us realize that we need to proactively reach out to companies that already have a solution in place to educate them that there is something better in the market. That could be a possible pitch, right? I've had a similar thing happen to me the other day. So, I run a fairly big SaaS company. There's not a single day where I don't get 10, 15 emails from outsourced development shops all around the world that want to offer their devs and the outsourced dev resources to us, right? So every day I get these emails. Hey, we have lots of amazing developers. We're proficient in these languages. Why don't you want to offshore some of your development to our company? And here's what I do with all these: delete. Right? I'm just not interested in outsourcing any kind of product development anywhere else. We don't outsource product development. It's all in-house. We don't believe in outsourcing. I'm not interested in that. I get a ton of these emails. Most of them are very low quality. Once in a while there's an email there that seems like this could be a really good company, or this seems like a good team, or they're much better in communicating, they're much better in marketing, but I'm just not interested in any of them, so I always delete it. Last week I got an email. That email stood out from the crowd, and this is a very crowded space. Why did it stand out from the crowd? Because the person that emailed me used mind reading in the cold email. He started the email with those sentences. Hey Stelly, I know you're probably getting tons of emails from dev shops just like ours. You probably just want to hit the delete button and move on with your day. Please just give me 3 more sentences before you make that final call. Wow, that fucking email stood out to me, right? And I'm telling you, as I was reading this, I wanted to delete the email, but I just couldn't, right? I was like, all right, fair enough. That's what I thought. All right, fair enough. You being so aware of what's going on in your space, you having a level of empathy, understanding how I feel and what my needs are, what my thought process is, you being so authentic and honest and being upfront with me, earn you the right, earn you my time to just keep on reading. And I read on for the next 3 sentences, and those were good sentences, strong sentences. He had a really strong pitch. I'm telling you, if I was in the market for outsourcing some of my development, if this philosophically aligned with my company values and the way we run our business, I would have replied to that email. It didn't. So it wasn't able to convert me from somebody that is never in the market for this service to being somebody in the market in this service. In all honesty, he didn't convince me to become a customer immediately, but he made me read the email. And here's the other thing he made me do. He made me not delete his email. I archived it, added some text, and I made a mental note. If anybody ever asks for dev shops, or if I ever need this, maybe I'll take another look at this. Because he stood out from the crowd by embracing the reality, by realizing that every person he's emailing is getting thousands of emails every month from other web dev shops. It's impossible for him to differentiate himself from all the others in a pure email. So the best way to deal with that challenge is to embrace it, to make it part of his pitch, and in essence, to make me feel like he was reading my mind. It's not that tough. If you pay attention, if you constantly talk to your prospects, if you listen to their objections, to the things they push back on, to the way they respond, you're going to be able to talk to them in a way that makes them feel like you're reading their mind, because you're addressing what they're thinking as they're thinking it, right? We've talked about having an objection management document that can help you tremendously with this in a pitch, in a call, in an email. If you don't have that, make sure you start with it, and we'll link up to that in this email. But in general, if you want to make your cold email stand out in a space that's incredibly crowded, where you have a lot of competition, ask yourself, what is the user experience from a receiver point of view, from the person that's receiving your email? What is that person thinking? What are the objections they have in mind? And address those objections as they come up, as they read your email. If you're in a crowded space, you're gonna have to address things like, we already have a solution, I don't need this, or I'm getting tons of these, I just want to delete anything that comes from a recruiter or a web development shop, or like this, just some type of industries that are so competitive that you'll need to stand out. And he did it brilliantly by telling me, I know you get tons of these emails, I know you just want to delete this email, move on with your day. And that's fair. All I'm asking is for you to read on for the next 3 sentences before you make this final call. What a beautiful email. Powerful email. I've already told this example of this email to a few hundred people by now, just in a week. So think about the impact that he had on me and the impression he made on me, right? And this is the same type of impact impression you can make on your prospects by using a little bit of mind reading. And the way you can mind read people is by paying attention, by listening, by having empathy, and by putting yourself in your prospect's shoes and asking yourself, what are the problems, the objections, the thought processes that this person is going through, and how can I embrace that and make it part of my pitch? Instead of hiding and running from it, I embrace it, I address it, I preemptively and proactively use it in my pitch as I'm pitching. All right, I hope that this was useful. Make sure to subscribe to blog.close.io if you have not subscribed yet. And make sure to go to send me an email, stelly@close.io. If you have any feedback, if you have any questions about this, if you want to send me your cold emails and get feedback on those, I'm always happy to hear from other founders, startup people, salespeople. You are my people. I want to help you. And until next time, let's go and get them.